so much from me except the radio or something, but my family's very musical otherwise. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a good week. Wow, it's we're gonna get to March actually one of these days, which is so exciting because after that's April and it's spring. So I am excited about that, and with that, I'm going to be looking forward to kind of doing some springy projects as far as with stamping here, and I'm going to show you tonight our butterfly bouquet set that is going to be available to be ordered for customers here on March 2nd, I believe. I was able to pre-order as was Joanne and other demonstrators. We are able to pre-order those things and have a little bit of fun so that when you are able to get it, other customers, then you're going to have ideas on what it looks like, what you can do with it, what it entails, all that good stuff. So we try it out ahead of time and get some ideas and try to pass them on. And that's a great thing as far as like Joanne is so talented that we get to see what other people are doing, and we easily and readily share everything and help each other out that way, and so many ideas for everything. Even today when I was getting ready for this, I had gone on and to a place where the demonstrators can go and got so many new ideas. A whole bunch of people came out with some new butterfly bouquet projects and samples the artisan team did from our main office. So I found a bunch more that I want to make. So this is going to be a set that you can do a lot with. It's not just going to be one and done. There's a lot of possibilities. I'm going to try to give a few ideas, but it's just going to be the tip of the iceberg. So I did go on live last night impromptu just to kind of let people know that Celebration and let's see, what was it? Yeah, Celebration is going to be wrapping up here on the last day of, what is it, February 28th, I think is the last day. And so February Celebration is done. So if you're interested in finding out more, go and look at the video I did yesterday or contact me. I'd be happy to answer your questions, and I just purposely did that yesterday so that today we can just focus on the fun, the stamping and all that good stuff. So I am going to grab a few things here, and I am going to show a few other things. Okay. So I am going to make my camera go on down here so that we can begin looking at what I'm talking about. Let's go here. All right. So here you're seeing, this is what I talked about yesterday, Celebration. We don't need that anymore, do we? We are going to be done with this soon. So if you have any products that you want to get free from a purchase, these items are going to be going. I mean, once in a while they'll keep something around, but for the most part, it's probably going to be gone. Oh boy. So anything in here you want, you better act soon, right? And then after that, I wanted to tell you, Paper Pumpkin, a lot of you, I've already gotten it and done a bunch of stuff with it, and I haven't even gotten mine yet. It was supposed to come today, and it still hasn't. So it doesn't have to do with Stampin' Up. It has to do with our post office. For some reason, I have trouble out here with my Paper Pumpkin lately. I never used to, and now it always comes late. And I've even had to start an inquiry as to where it was on the computer because I have informed delivery. And so I would start an inquiry, and then lo and behold, the next day it would show up. So I don't know what's going on. Regardless, we have so much fun. We have, I think it's Bouquet of Hope, something like that. That was just done here for February, and I'm going to be getting it soon. I'll make my alternative projects as soon as I can and get those out to my Paper Pumpkin subscribers or anyone else who would like to see. And if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know. I'd love to put anything up too on my Facebook page of ideas that people would like to share. The next one is going to be called The Adventure Begins, and it's going to be really another unique one. Looks kind of fun. They're going to be giving us a set of stencils and a sponge, and then we'll be able to do some inking techniques with that. So that is going to be fun. It has 4 stencils and that sponge that comes with it, which is really different from other Paper Pumpkins as far as I know. and it is having to do with like wildflowers, mountains, and sentiments of celebration. So after our more tough paper pumpkin, which is the way life is, right? We need to help people and build them up and give them encouragement. And we also have this other side about celebrating. So we're going to be able to do that, and it has to do with hilltop. Views from the hilltop are always worth the hike. So you're going to be able to make 8 cards with and coordinating envelopes with that. Comes in a cute box, and as they kind of show us a little sneak peek right there. Let me know if you're interested in that. The order period is February 11th to March 10th, and March 10th is going to come up quick. All right, so today, I'm giving you a sneak peek of all my goodies. We're going to be looking at a set that is not really ready yet, as far as you can't get it today, but unless you're a demonstrator, but you can pre-order that if you're a demonstrator, but then March 2nd until May 3rd, this will be an orderable product grouping. I don't know what they call it exactly. But anyways, this isn't the best printout. It got kind of light for me, but this is going to be a set of products that all coordinate together, and they are beautiful. It comes with a set of 8 stamps, and I'll show you mine here, because we are going to be using that, called Butterfly Brilliance. And you can see that it's got those 6 stamps on there. And this is a red rubber cling stamp set, and it's all one sheet. So you get all of them that you can stamp at once. This is a large stamp, obviously, so it's a little bit different to get used to using such a large stamp. And so you can have a few there's a learning curve to it a little bit, but it can really speed up your projects, making a bunch of projects. It really is fun because the die that comes with it, one of the dies, cuts out all of this as well. So you could stamp all of this, and then you could cut it all out all at once. And I'm going to show you that here. Here's the die set. So this die set fits right on there and cuts out all of those 6 at once, which is really handy. You can get a lot of butterflies made and cut out all at once. There's 6, boom. So that's super nice, and I'll be showing you these a little bit too. It also comes with a huge die set. Look at that. So besides that main one, you also get the individual detailed dies for each and every one of these butterflies, and they are so beautiful. In fact, you can cut out these detail dies all on their own as well, and that even looks nice without anything else. Same with the stamps. They look nice on their own without anything else. Put them both together, it's really beautiful. Plus it has a couple little teeny extra butterfly outside shapes. And then they have some background detail dies that are really fun. And I'm going to show you what they look like when you use them. But they have, I can't get it off, here we go. So we have like a brick wall type of look. And so that cuts out those bricks and can make kind of a hole in your project of a brick wall look, which I'll show you. Then there are these little, I don't know, look like little bubbles or little round spots here that are, I've seen people have them kind of be like a path that the butterfly leaves behind or something. A lot you can do without the butterflies even. And then the last one doesn't cut out, but this does put etchings into your paper, or kind of cuts into it but doesn't cut anything out. So it leaves a nice texture, and it's just kind of a different crosshatch look. Oh, you got it yesterday night, Joanne, and you liked it? Oh yeah, I thought it looked really cool. I haven't gotten to see it. So you got it yesterday. I think Rachel did as well, so I guess mine isn't too far behind everybody else, assuming it gets here soon. But I get antsy because it's just fun to play with them and see what else you can come up with. All right, so we are going to give this set here the dies that come with it. We'll give that a try in a bit. I wanted to show you the, oh, I know, I made these paper things. Excuse me. So here is the die set cut out. I don't know if I should go back a little bit. And so here you can see those little bricks. Excuse me, I need to get a drink. Ooh. Pardon me. Ooh. Okay. This is the outside of those dies, and here are the detail dies that go with each of the individual cutouts. So like you could just do that on their own, that would be cool. And then it does show you these smaller ones. This I don't know if it's going to show, and it's that cross hatch. You can kind of see it a little bit there. It's just those little grooves that get put into your background or your paper, depending on how you want to use it. And there's that brick wall type. This is what they look like when they come out. Of course, you'd have a lot more than that. And then this is that the little bubbly path, or whatever you'd want to call it. I don't know, the path of the butterfly. I'm not sure what else it would be called or what it's used for, but you use your imagination. You'll come up with a lot of ideas, I'm sure. So that is that big, beautiful die set. Now this set that you can order right now comes with a couple of things that you probably may not be able to get after this promotional period, and that is the paper pack, and there's a specialty paper, and that is like a birch color, and it has kind of like the wood grain almost engraved into it, and I believe I have that here and I can show you. Of course, I probably tucked it away somewhere. Anyways, I will show you the paper. Okay, here we go. So we have the paper pack is a DSP pack that they're calling Butterfly Bijou or something like that. I can hardly say it. Bijou. And it goes along with this set. And it comes with 6 different pages or papers, and they're double-sided, so it's 12 different patterns. And so on one side I show you the front, that's more of your pattern or your item, and then the back side's typically a little bit less of a pattern and maybe just more of like a background paper. And so here is what 5 of them look like, and the back sides, which you can see the colors and everything that it uses here, everything from a mellow kind of a yellow to a little bit more brighter, and the pink on here can be really bright too, and I'll show you that in a second. So this is showing you, I wanted to show you, this is one of the other, the 6th actual paper, and the reason I have this, I left it whole because the actual die can cut it out from on the DSP. So our large outside die cuts out the pattern in this paper, in this 6x6 piece, and I just cut off this last inch and flipped it over to show you what is on the back side of this printed piece. It's just a real watercolory look, but if you want to get some quick butterflies out, you just take this, put your outside die on it, and that's going to cut it right out. I'll kind of show you. You know, you'd be able to put this on there and cut out 6 butterflies, boom, and you're done. So that, you know, it's really a quick way to do it. And it's such pretty paper. I love those colors that are kind of swirled all together there. It probably doesn't do it justice. If I go like that, it probably shows more of the color. So it had been like that, I think, is how it was. Like so. But so pretty. And now I think those blue, that's my coming through there because I had traced the outline of our, I traced that outline from this die onto the pattern, and it bled through a little bit. Okay, so here's the other side. That's our paper pack that comes with it. And there is this one as well, that natural birch, which I forgot to grab, and I suppose I don't even have it nearby me. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I know I have it, but I didn't get it ready. Ooh, here it is. I haven't taken it out of the paper because it's like one of those I'll probably like cord because I don't want to use it, but it's cool. It's so, you know, unique that you want to make sure you know what you're using it on, because you only get two papers of two 12 by 12 sheets. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to make it so you can see there's like a wood grain already on the paper. And I think if I would use the paper and maybe put a little ink on there or something, that's going to bring out that grain a little bit. But it's very realistic looking. I just love it. It's real light. Looks like a piece of pine or, yeah, what did they say it was? I think they said birch. So yeah, it's nice and light. I have also seen where demonstrators will color it into different browns, and you can get other wood colors as well. So that'll be fun to play with. I haven't even touched it yet. I have kind of been playing more just with the stamps and the dies and that kind of thing in the paper. I wanted to show a sample I had gotten from my upline Rachel. She sent out a card recently, and it's so pretty because it uses that set, and it shows the brick dies, birch paper. Yes, ooh, that'd be cool. I would like to see that. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for coming by. So I was going to show you from Cindy. From Rachel. She had it kind of tucked behind this little butterfly here, and so it was a tuck closure on it. And now these, she just used the detail dies on this one, and didn't. I think it was the specialty paper, the back side of this set, that she cut out these two detailed butterflies with, and that alone looks beautiful. In my opinion, it's so pretty. She put the little rhinestones on there. Just a real pretty card. So that is an option, you know, just to kind of show you a little bit more how the detailed dies can just be used by themselves. So pretty. Okay. So that is the set, and we are going to play. All right. So where do we begin here? Well, first thing I want to do is go over the actual stamp. I have not even ever used this huge acrylic block yet. It looks kind of dirty. I've never even taken the plastic off of it. The size of this one is F. I think it's the biggest one. And I believe if you want to stamp with an acrylic block with this stamp set, that's probably the size you're going to need. Okay, so as you can see, yep, they made it just to fit on this one. So, like I was saying earlier, if you stamp with this large of a stamp, you have to do it a little differently. And I think what most people tend to do is have the stamp this way and then ink it up and put your paper on it. So I'm going to try that. Obviously, I don't use it this way very much because I have not even used this block. I use a Stamparatus. To me, that is the easiest way to stamp with a large stamp like this. I like it so much better, but I still want to try it with you just to try it and see how it goes. I'm just going to grab any old color here that we'll stamp with. So, but I want it to be very apparent. So let's say Night of Navy. I'll just grab that one because it's nice and dark. And I am going to ink this up. And I'm going to just demonstrate or try different things so that you can see what happens with different application methods, I guess. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to put some paper down, and we're going to stamp it in the way that we used to normally when we would always stamp our paper, right? So I'm just going to grab, I better not grab a total scrap. What if it turns out beautiful? So I am grabbing, let's try just a piece here that I have of, this is just gray, just to try it with. And make sure it's still good and damp or whatever, not dried out. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to set it down on here. Bonk. And I'm trying to do, with a big one like this, you want to make sure every area gets a little bit of pressure. And if you do too much pressure, you could get the little moon shading on the side. And if you don't do enough, you're not going to get all of the detail of your stamp. So let's, oh, I'm almost afraid to look. Okay, there we go. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Kind of light, but the actual image though is, you know, that's pretty good. I'm not too upset about that one. So that is one method, and I'm going to get my scissors and trim that off, and then we'll try another way of doing it, like I was saying, how you bring the paper to the actual stamp. We'll see what that looks like, okay? And then we'll try the Stamparatus also. So with this one, I'm going to ink it up the same way, and then I'm just going to put the actual paper on there. Due to the size of the stamp, the Stamparatus will be my go-to item, says Joanne. I agree, Joanne. I've used it. That's why I'm saying this. It's going to be a lot easier to have a Stamparatus, and some of my people watching or watching later may not know what that is, so that's why I'm going to show you how it works. And I use the Stamparatus a lot in general, almost all the time with a lot of my stamping, but I just really like the fact that you have a little bit more control over the outcome of your image, because you don't have to press so hard with the Stamparatus, but you get the halo effect. But you do have to, oops, I'm losing my train of thought. You don't have to press so hard to get the halo, but you can always redo it if you get a light image or a place that doesn't quite look right. You can re-ink and then, you know, try again. Ooh, that worked even better. Wow, what a difference. That is amazing. I'm kind of surprised that there's such a difference. Oh my goodness. Now this did have a few little blurbs, but now, blurbs, I don't know if that's what they are, but once you cut these out, a lot of that's not going to show anyways. Oh my goodness, that's a huge difference, isn't it? So definitely, if you don't have the Stamparatus, bring your paper to your project here. Wow. Okay. So, I'm going to also use this on the Stamparatus, but I don't really want to put it on there all dirty and, you know, risk getting ink everywhere. Oh, there you go, Cindy. A nice Mother's Day gift. It sure is. Very nice, because, I don't know, it's one of my, probably something I get out almost every day that I stamp, just because I like the control that I have when I use it, rather than hoping that I don't wreck it because, you know, I push too hard or not hard enough. I just go a nice light impression or light inking and pressure, and then I go back and I can add more if I need to. So it's kind of nice that way. I think it has less waste for me. So speaking of that, I'm grabbing that Stamparatus. So this is the other way that you can stamp a large image. If you don't have the black, or if you would rather, this is probably a lot of people's go-to item. So what happens is a Stamparatus, that's what this tool is, and it comes with the base. There's also an insert you can put in here of just grid paper if you want, and then that helps getting images straight and that kind of thing. There's also a pad with a grid on it, so that, I think it's right here. It would be nice if it was, but it's probably not. I must have put it somewhere else. Naughty, naughty. Okay, anyways, it looks just like this, but there is a layer of foam under it, and that is for the photopolymer stamps. So that is the difference. With photopolymer, you do want to have that little foam cushion in there that comes with it. Okay, you get 2 of these plates, and these are really cool because you can put one here, and you can put one there. Do you think I would be organized to have that second plate? I've probably never even used it. I found it! It's a miracle! Okay. Alright, so you can do this so that if you're stamping some things with multiple images, you can go stamp, and then you can go stamp. And then you can do your next project or your next piece of paper, stamp and stamp. And you technically could do something on each side. You could put your stamp here and stamp it. And then you can pick this up, turn it around. You could have another stamp here and stamp on your project. And what it does is keeps it lined up. It's not going to move. It's not going to be in a different place. It's always in the same place. And there are a lot more things you can do with this that are a lot of techniques that, you know, maybe I'll just kind of show them every so often while I, you know, through the weeks, whatever, just to show you some of the things you can do with it. So then I'm going to try the Stamparatus with the same ink color here and just kind of see the difference. We're just sort of trying stuff out here, aren't we? Trying it out on the fly. But this is a good way to be able to see how things work and how, you know, is it really worth it to do this or that? Or is there a difference in how you put ink to paper? Yes, it can be a big difference, right? That's what we're finding out, I guess. All right, so you just push that down and then it lifts it up and it adheres to the plate. Okay, so I am going to go ahead then and ink up this again with the same ink color. And I'm using that Night of Navy still. That way we can compare them all here. Okay, that's pretty good. Now again, as long as I put my paper up in the corner and I usually use, it comes with magnets. So you use a magnet to kind of keep your paper in place. With a big set like this though, you got to make sure, like, is my magnet in the way? No, but you want to make sure it's plenty far away so that it's not making it so you're not getting a good image over here by that magnet. So, all right, what I do then, I have it up in the corner and I have that inked up. And the first time that I flip it over, I'm just doing a light press so that I can kind of just get a general feel for how it's working. And then take a look. Okay, obviously I did not do a good job at pressing it down. I was way too light, but I typically do that. It really varies a lot and depends on how inky or juicy your stamp pad is. Mine is not very much at all, but I don't mind. I'd rather ink it up a time or two and go light than get it all globby and having those edges around there and have a mess that way. So now I know that I can go ahead and press harder this time. These bigger stamps do require, you know, more of that pressure, and the smaller ones you don't need to do that at all. But a bigger one like this, you just want a good clear image. I know that I don't have an overly juicy pad, so it's okay to give it a good press. Okay, now there is a bad spot. I wonder if there's something on my, yep, I had a little die cut on there. Oh, funny. So that's why it wasn't getting a good impression right there, is because on my rubber of my stamp, there was a little bit of paper stuck on there. Probably from one of the details, the dies that cuts out all those little middles. I think it was something there from that. Okay, now, yep, it's still in place. Don't get my inky fingers all over it, because I am well known for that. So I especially want to give it a good press right here. That's where that one area was. And I am just doing another good press on this. I probably need to re-ink my stamp pad. Give it a good press. And we'll take a look. There, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Let's compare it now to the others. Okay, now these have dried, so there is a, you know, that when it dries, it probably lightens a little bit. So that's still, I don't know. I still kind of, yeah, this one does look a little better, doesn't it? So, but I'm going to see what it looks like if I ink it up one more time on here. And that's one of the benefits, is that you can do it as many times as you need to. Although, if you know, I need to re-ink it, and then it wouldn't be so much, but let's try one more time. And this is really helpful with black ink, especially when I have a sentiment or something that I'm doing in black ink. I really, really like to have a nice jet black impression or image on there. This is a great way to be able to ink it up a couple times, get it in the exact same spot, and have a nice dark image. Okay, let's see how it looks. There we go. So that is a lot of differences, isn't it? So let's look at this one. This definitely is not a good way to go. I mean, there's a huge difference in the quality of that. That's amazing. But I really do like this one a little bit better. It's just that little bit darker. No, yep, that one's darker too. So I don't know if it'll lighten up a little bit, but those are the differences, and kind of gives you an idea then of what it is like to use the different types of stamping tools, I guess you'd say. I do want to give this a little wipe, and I'm just going to grab a quick baby wipe here. And no, you know, I would just throw it to the side, but this ink is already all over, getting all over everything, and ugh, yeah. I am going to need to clean this up much better later. Ew. Okay. All right. I need my stamp scrubber is what I need, which I will get after I'm done. You don't need to watch me do that, right? But I am going to kind of soak up some of this stuff. All right, so then that is showing you the stamping part of it. I will leave this on here in case we want to stamp anything here for our project. So I'll just leave it like that, okay? You can probably use the stamps by themselves. And I mean, you can. I don't know. I've heard of people cutting them. I don't know if I would have the guts to do that. That was a close one. I don't know if I would do that, but some people are really, you know, they're really good about knowing that they cut them apart, use them separately, and then they can still put them back together, because they don't cut any of the rubber any other way, so they'll be able to put it back on a block in the exact right spot. So I don't know if anybody's done that. Let me know. It'd be kind of interesting to hear. Now this, you can do a lot with this. You'd be able to cut them out like this with your die, and I can go ahead and do that and just show you that. So what I'm going to do is I don't know, especially when it's this large, I like to use a little bit of either a Post-it note or whatever you want, as far as some way to adhere down. Washi tape is another good thing to do, to adhere the actual the die onto the project. Hello, die, where are you? Well, that didn't take me long to start having to hunt for something, did it? I think I just don't put things back where they go. Just kind of set it. Oh, I'll just go set it here. And then once I need to use it, then I don't know where I put it. So I need to find it. Talk amongst yourselves. Seriously, I know I just had it, you guys. I probably have it in this stack of papers we looked at. Yes. Sheesh. Okay. Organization, not my strong point. But you knew that. I'm going to take this second one that we did that was done on the actual, that we had done on, you know, with the block, and we brought the paper to the block. One thing I do want to show first, though, before I do that, maybe I'll leave this on here, is some techniques you can do to color. You can use your daubers, you can use your sponge, you can use a brayer. You can use a lot of different tools to get some extra color onto your projects. Of course, there's blends as well. All right, so let's try, now this probably isn't the best color for us to be using, but it's going to give us an idea. Let's try just to see. I'm going to use another blue, Pacific Point. Okay, what's that going to look like with this tool, for example? Okay, it's very bright. Wow, because this will put a pretty light coat of ink down, typically. So, wow, I mean, that's a quick color, isn't it? You can color in images with this tool really quickly. So that one works well if that's the look you're going for, kind of that muted all over color. Then another thing we can try that I've really liked, we can use this, and we can use this. This one, this is our sponge brayer. This is not the one I used the other day. No, that was one that was dirty. This one is just stained, so it's clean, but I can show you how to put color on something with that. Either of these are all just ways to do the same thing or similar, get different effects. Let's try another bright color this time. Because of my paper choice there, I'd rather have it nice and bright so you can kind of see what it does. So if we do, so these two corners were the brighter blue color done with our blending tool, our new one that we have. It comes in a set of 3. Now I'm just going to use our round sponge and apply some color with that and just kind of see how that goes on. So you can see that it, you know, kind of does about a very similar thing. One nice thing is you could probably control a little bit more about, you know, where it goes, but it's going to be similar. Okay, similar to what you did with the blending tool. And then that's the pink. So I'm going to try one more color, kind of a, you know, one that you'll notice. So we have blue, purple, I mean, let's do Gorgeous Grape. I don't know how it'll look on this paper, but we'll just see. So I am going to ink up this brayer and do the rest of this paper in that. And I really had good luck with using the brayer on colored paper. Oh, I have a different one that was really pretty. I'll have to show you in a little bit. But this is just a kind of a way to add color that's going to be a little different from other things. So the brayer, I kind of like that it leaves sort of a streakiness here. I mean, if you kept going and layering and going different directions, then it wouldn't show like that. But if you do it this way, all in one direction, it kind of does that little bit of a drag effect. It depends on what you want and what you're looking for. And it kind of is going to blend this in a little bit and add spots of color. Now, if I was doing this just for a project, for one thing, I would probably, you know, add other colors. You can just make it match whatever else you're doing. I don't know if that's enough color, but this will give you an idea. I don't want to keep you here all night. So, so let's just say that's what we did. And you may think that's really not a lot, which it's okay, but I'm going to, now that I think about it, I do want to see what the blends look like. Wow, that really soaks it up, like probably too much, maybe. Depends on what you're doing again. That could be really pretty too. I'm just trying to see what it looks like throwing down just different types of color, and that'll probably actually be really pretty. Just kind of takes away the color that is there already and kind of makes it look more of a gray or even darker navy almost. And it kind of does its own shading, so it's kind of cool. Does change that color. It almost looks purple now to me a little bit too in there. So you'd want to just, you know, try it ahead of time. And what I do when I'm doing the blends, if I want to put down a lot of color, I am using this brush tip here. I tend to not quite go to the edge because it kind of soaks in and it will spread out a little bit to that edge. Alrighty, and we'll try this one now. I like coloring. I don't know about you guys. What do you think? You like to color? Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm not going to color in with this pink, the center. That I would, you know, maybe I would do something like, I'll just bring in just a darker color. You could do the black or something too. But here's just I believe this is the Night of Navy Blends. The dark, I believe. Is it the dark? Dark Misty Moonlight. Ooh, I was wrong. I didn't look. But yeah, it works too. Alright, so you can see that butterfly is drastically different, isn't it? And that's going to be a totally different look. So I'm going to grab this, and I will cut it out this time. And then you can kind of see the differences and see what it looks like. So I just have to get that die right in the spot that I want it, of course. And takes a little time just to, you know, keep maneuvering it to get it in the right spot. Because it's going to be one and done. It's especially the outline like this. It's going to go through, and you're not going to need to convince it to cut anything. It's just going to zip it through, and it'll cut it right out. Okay, so I am going to run that through the Big Shot. Oh, no, sorry, it's not a Big Shot anymore. It's the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I don't have the new big one, so otherwise I'd be showing that off to you. But I do have the littler one, which I'll use in a little bit. All right, so I am running this through. Just have to take my word for it. And I should have cut down my paper because it got a little mangled. But I don't think it hurt the cutout. I hope not. That would be, oh, my bad. Yeah, it probably did. That was bad. I messed up. All right, what not to do. Don't force it through your machine if you haven't cut your paper down. Sad. Well, okay, guys, you're learning along with me. I was trying to go too fast. Yeah, and it moved and it got mangled. Okay? Don't do that. I meant to do that. I wanted you to learn from me. Oh, goodness. It's still kind of cool looking, isn't it? I could just take the blends and go around the edge and it would be good to go. But to see how they look, you can see the different butterflies and sort of how they ended up looking after they were run through and cut out. And I mangled them. Okay, I think that was it. Geesh. That wasn't good. Naughty. All right, so there we are with that. Then we have our details, our detail dies. This, oh, you can do so many cool things with this. So if this was our project and we wanted to get more color on our project, one thing we could do is you could color each one with a blend and then come in with a coordinating overlay color. I've seen really cool cutouts with foils and with glitter paper and stuff, which I've done, so I should probably just show you some of those. Okay, here's my bucket, no, my pouch butterflies. And again, I can demonstrate that in a bit, but I just kind of want to show you some of the playing. Now you can get a big bunch of butterflies, BBB, big bunch of butterflies, pretty quickly, because it can cut out 6 things at once. I mean, that's a lot, so you can get a big pile easily. And it kind of depends on the look you're going for. So I have just done a bunch of different, no, that's not going to show well on this paper. I could even just put those blues there on the side. And you can kind of see things a little better here. Now, these are those pretty cutouts from the actual cardstock that you can get in that paper pack, the Butterfly Bijou pack. So that is a really nice way to get some beautifully colored images quickly, is to cut them out from that paper. You can get 6 of them out of one of our 6x6. One of each size, I think it is. And so you have a big variety here. You can stamp these on colored paper. You can stamp them with black ink or colored ink. try all different things just to get the different look that you might be wanting. And so you can see just a variety, right? Oh, a big pile. Oh, we're getting messy. I really love these kind of colors where they're kind of those beachy colors. Really pretty, and the purples and the blues. I kind of gravitate towards that, although I have done some of these in the more yellowy and terracotta tile or calypso coral colors. Really like that as well. So you can make yourself a good pile of butterflies, and we're going to be making a card with kind of a fun technique. Those of you who are who've had more experience with stamping, you may be very familiar with this, and it may not be anything new for you. It's like a floating frame technique that's been out for a while, but it's very pretty when you have multiple images that are similar like this. So that's what I'm going to be showing you, and we can decide if we want to put the detail on top of that too in a bit. So what I'm going to do is get two card bases. So I'm going to make two cards out of one thing, out of one try, I don't know, out of one paper that I'm going to be making. I have the Misty Moonlight and the Balmy Blue, I believe that is. Here is one of the background papers. Now this is one side of it, but on the other side is this pretty watercolor type of a color. So I'm going to use this as a background for my butterflies, and what I'll do is I'm going to be just randomly putting them all over on one of these pieces here. I'm going to just adhere them down, but I am going to use dimensionals. I want them to pop up, so I want them to be lifted up off of here, so they're kind of floating. So I will just get a variety of the different colors and that kind of match here. So this one, I don't necessarily like I don't think it matches as well as I like. So we'll just get a variety of some in different colors and patterns and sizes, and can even use some of those pre-printed ones in there if you'd like. There's a nice kind of bluish, and I want to make sure I have a variety of sizes and colors, but yet have a color, kind of a color scheme, I guess you'd say. This one matches well. Two purples. Oh, there's too many pretty ones, but that's a good problem to have. But I like to make a variety of sizes on here, and what I've noticed typically works the best. You can have a general plan, but I usually start on one corner and work my way to the other corner, opposite. If you start in the middle, a lot of times, well, you may have a nice focal point that way, but then you may have like just one main big one and then not any others that are complete. So, and you can leave things kind of hang off the edges. So I am going to plan it just a little bit, just to make sure that I kind of set it out ahead of time how I might want them to be. The larger ones are the harder ones to get into place as far as, because they're so big, of course. And I just want things going all different directions. And so, again, I'm just kind of doing this for placement. Yeah, I try to move it around, and if they come off the edge a little bit, that's okay. I'll just trim them down. I just want it to be kind of filled in well. And you just sort of try to have it be like a puzzle where you're just moving and rearranging, but getting a good amount, but it doesn't have to be overlapping or filling up everything. That's okay if there are parts that are not covered, of course, because that'll still look pretty. Let's see, I still want, one that's got, here maybe one like this color scheme there. Oops, let's go in the same direction, vary it out a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty good. I don't know, the dark one really jumps out. Hopefully that'll look okay. Excuse me. It's hard. Okay, So I'm just going to go with that, and then now I'll add the dimensionals. And as you pick your piece up, you're going to want to, you kind of think to yourself, I don't want to put any adhesive or any dimensionals along that outside edge, which would be here. So then I'll put my dimensionals in other places where it will hang on really well. And just scatter them around. I try not to get them too close to the edge. I've had trouble kind of hiding them sometimes when I do that. It's probably more than I needed. And we'll take those backs off. Take your pick tool. I need to grab you. Quicker that way. And okay, we'll kind of scoot them a little bit and put this guy into place. All right, I guess it's a guy. Did you know that? Okay, I'm going to want a couple on here. Of course, I moved it now, so I don't know exactly where, but you just fuss with it and get it where you want. All right, I hope you guys are doing good, and that you've been able to have some time to make a few things and be crafty, and kind of helps me a lot, that's for sure. It's been nice. I've been able to get back in here in my craft room a little bit more lately, and it's fun to try these new things. To me, if I could just do this kind of a thing all day, I'd be happy. You know, there's always life involved, so I got to do more, but to me, my happy place, I guess, if I'm not with people. I mean, of course, I'd rather see people and that kind of thing, but if I am home, this is what I like to do. And I have a feeling a lot of you are the same way, because that's why you're tuning in, maybe, right? Because this is your thing. Yeah, we'll get this done. Yeah, my hubby's doing really well. I'm very proud of him. He's healing right up, and he's just a trooper. I don't know, he's something else. It's been kind of fun to see him feeling better now, because you kind of miss him, and you miss the fun times when they're not feeling well. You just feel bad. You want to take it and make it better, like a parent would do, right? But you can't always do that, and so it's hard. It's hard when they're not. I haven't had to do that. He's been healthy so much that it's just, and haven't had to really take care of him very much. So it's hard to see him struggling. Not that he was struggling, but, you know, in pain, of course. He went through a big major thing, and his sister's doing fantastically well. Very excited. And you know, those days where he wouldn't feel the best, you know, to know that his sister was doing so well, that helped him a lot. He's like, oh, it's worth it, because you wouldn't want to go through that and find out, oh yeah, it didn't work. That would be really sad. And I know for some people it's probably happened before, but so far so good, at least in their situation. Now, I don't like how this one, I got it a little too close. I don't know if maybe I'll trim it off and have it kind of tucked behind. So we'll do that a little bit. It shouldn't show, I hope. I'll just kind of take that little corner off, tuck it back behind, and hide that. Yeah, so, yeah, that's okay. I don't prefer to do that, but whatever. This is kind of stuck too under a little bit of a layer. All right, so we have one. I got to keep in mind, too, I want to do this like with the horizontal card, so got to keep that in mind so that I'm not making it vertical or whatever. That's something that you might want to plan out a little bit ahead of time, and I am intentionally doing mine horizontally. So I need to go the bottom lobes, I don't know if that's the correct term, bottom lobes of the wings. Alright, and so I'll put one about here. Probably not all that exciting watching me do this tedious part, but it's, you know, part of it. Hopefully you're maybe crafting along and coming up with your own projects as well. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to put one more under that big wing. do. Oh my gosh, it's almost been an hour, you guys. I am so bad at that. I need to like work on being quicker. I just don't want anybody to go, that's too long. I can't watch her anymore. All right. So one more. I think I need this smaller one maybe here. All right. Floating frame technique. Okay. Now all of the dies in this set will work with a smaller, like our little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, except the main one. So if somebody has, or if they're thinking about getting a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you know, as far, a lot of things can be done on the small one, but there are times when it can't be, and that this is one example. You can cut anything on the small one except for the actual large image. That you do need the wider one because it's more than 3.5 inches wide. Okay. Yeah, I just don't like this one. I don't know. They're just a little closer than I'd like, but I'm just going to have to leave it now. Maybe it'll look okay once I get it done. I kind of want to fill in a little bit there. One thing you want to do, though, is you'll be going around the edges and actually trimming. So then you can use some of the trimming pieces to go around on the edges. And then you won't even be able to tell. It kind of looks like that continuation of the pattern. So I'm going to do that with this wing here that I cut off from the edge. Or you can use other extra butterflies that you may have as well. So I'm going to kind of go like so with this one. Anywhere else I could put a little something here, but that's not bad. So turn it upside down and trim it. So it's a nice square cut background paper. Like that, and then this little guy's hanging out there. All right, so this is kind of our background. Now what I'm going to do is I want to make this into 2 usable backgrounds. So to do that, we need to cut it, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a minute. I'm wondering if I should put this like somewhere else or if that's enough. But I'll just stop while I'm ahead. But just know that you can kind of keep going around and kind of getting that tweaked how you would like it. Okay? Now I'm going to grab my dies, and I am going to use, I don't know which size, maybe this size. Let's take a look if that's what I want here. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to use the Stitch So Sweetly second from the largest rectangle. And I will use my small Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so you can kind of see how that works. And because I don't think I'm going to do any more of the outline, so I won't be needing that die anymore. Well, unless I use this one for something, I guess. But anyways, I probably won't. How many projects am I going to do, right? You'll be here all night. All right, I'm going to find my little guy. This is one of my favorite tools, too. Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the little, I don't know what's it called, the mini. That's what it's called, the mini. And I need my plates for that. And these have plates that are, the maximum is that with the 3.5 inches. And I'm going to see what I did with them. Because I thought I had them all like sitting together. It's like I wish I had an assistant, right? Oh, goodness. Here they are. They're clear and white, so they're easy to misplace because they kind of blend in. All right, so with this one, it tells you on the plates, you know, how to make your sandwich or how to do different things. So for this one, it's if I'm going to be doing die cutting, you want to place your die cutting edge down, and it's telling us to have one on the bottom and then 2 of the 2 plates next. So here's the one on the bottom, and the clear plates are the number 2, and I have 2 of those. This one I use for the cutting one most of the time, almost always, hence why it's so nasty looking. But that one is down. And then I'm going to put, I don't know if I can. Oh my gosh, you guys. I bet I can, no. That'll get mangled like my other one did. So I can use this die on this die cutting machine, but not on a piece this wide. That wasn't good. So I have to get out my bigger one. Sorry. I'll use that for the details here in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to run this. Well, actually, why don't I get it into place? I'm going to find where I want it to be, and I'm going to use a little bit more of that, either a Post-it note, or I'll probably just use this tape. This is the, what kind is it? Delicate surface tape, and even that sometimes might stick a little bit more than I want. You can just put it on your jeans or your top, and then that takes that stickiness away a little bit. All right, so then I am going to be cutting this, and you probably think it's going to mangle it. Well, knock on wood, I haven't had that happen. So hopefully it won't, but I do have to die cut it. So I am going to put this on my Big Shot, or Stamp Cut and Emboss machine is what most people have now. And I'm going to put it on there like so, and I'm going to run it through like so. Isn't this just, I mean, it's well used, I tell you. You get your money's worth out of those things. No matter what brand or kind you have, they are something that's nice to have in your craft room. Okay, so let's see how it did. I'm going to make sure it cut all the way through. Just kind of want to, ooh, right there. I think it did. I just don't want to have to run it through twice if I don't have to, because I would rather not smash everything down. Okay. I think it's pretty good. The only place that's kind of grabbing on is, I think, right down here a little bit. So I just might put this end in back through just a little bit, just to make sure that it's cut all the way through. Okay, so I'm just going to put it through a little bit, not all the way. Give that end just a little bit more of a cut. And to press. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we have images to put on 2 different cards. That's what I like about it. It's kind of cool. You can use both of these in 2 different ways. So this is going to make kind of that frame effect, and it's called floating frame. That's what it gets it from, is this type of a look. If you do want to put down the detail portion on top of these, you would want to do that before you cut it, so that everything's in place first. This piece right here, I could still put the detail on, which I may. So I am going to use these to get 2 different projects out of. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Okay. So that's all I needed this die for. And then here's our card bases. I just have the 2 different blues that I think I showed you before. And it is 5.5 by 8.5. And typically I'd score it, but I didn't this time. Fold it in half. So if you score it, it's scored at 4 1/4, as you know, right? With my bone folder, I need that, because that is important. So I'm just grabbing that. A must-have little tool as well. So we're going to get this base ready. At the same time, we're getting this base ready. Now these are nice because the actual construction of the card is not anything unusual. The star of the show are these frames that you made. So you don't have to do a whole lot of other things to construct this. It kind of does it on its own. So beautiful, right? Beautiful. So let me try it the other way and see if I like it better. Either one works, I think. You could put, I think I might do a layer behind that one. This one looks like it wants a focal point, so I am going to put a focal point of another butterfly here and make it really stand out, I guess. But what I can do is adhere this in here. You could put white underneath there as well, but to make it kind of jump out a little more. But I'm just going to try to not do too much. But those are just options you could use if you would want to. Ooh, gosh, this is a new green glue. Forgot about that here for a second. It is going everywhere. This is a good strong glue that we have, Tombow. And if you have too much and you're afraid it's going to mush out because you don't want it to come out, it'll leave a shiny residue on your project. You can kind of set it aside and let it set up a little bit, and then it might not smoosh out as much, ooze out as much maybe. So we're going to put that down. I love these colors. I would say these are like my favorite colors here. Blues and a little bit of the aqua type, the mint macaron and the purple, these cool tones. They're my thing. I love it. Okay, so we'll kind of let that dry a little bit. And then this one, I want to add a little bit behind it. It's just a little bit, I don't know, quiet back there. I think I'd want a little more added in. And I could do that with color. You could probably even just do something. You could put a butterfly in the corner, maybe a little one, like so. But I think I want another layer of paper, so I'm just going to, oh, what do we think will be pretty? Just even a basic white behind there with a little bit of a texture in it is what I'm hoping to do. Gosh, do you think this would work to use this? And if that would even look good behind it? It's kind of like not necessary. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with white. I just don't want to use that paper for something and then regret it and then wish I had, you know, saved it for something else, which is not a good way to do things. You're not supposed to save, right? So I'm finding some paper that I want for the background there, and I keep saying I'm going to do white, and then I don't grab white, but what do I have available? The next piece I'm going to bring in is just going to be kind of more of a narrow strip, and I want it to coordinate with the project, and so I think I'm just going to use this type of a color. This color, exactly. And I could even cut it out or just mat that, but I'm going to just do a strip. So, excuse me, I keep having this dry thing. This actually measures approximately 2.5 inches. So I'm going to have a 3-inch strip. And I am going to grab my trimmer. Sorry, guys. We'll cut that to 3 inches. And I'm going to show you on my, now I'm going to use this. I am going to get an embossing folder out. And we have one that has butterflies on it. And I am going to put the paper in, like so. Okay. And I think this is in our, oh, why do I not know? This, I believe, is in our new mini catalog with the butterfly. There's another butterfly set in there. And I believe that comes from that set. And so then to make our sandwich with this, it depends on what kind of an embossing folder you have, whether it's a 3D or not. But this is for, it says embossing folder, and so you're going to do one of the base and then just the number 4. So we have a 1 and a 4. Here's our 4. Sorry. 4, here's our folder, and then I just need the base, which is number 1, the white. Okay, I think it'll work. I hope so. All right, and I don't think that's enough. I probably did something wrong. 4 and a 1. This might be needing a different sandwich, apparently, huh? I probably am not reading the instructions. Oh yeah, I need this one instead. So this says, insert embossing folder hinge first. For this one, for standard embossing folder, I need to read. And this one is for 3D embossing folders. It's a little bit thinner. And I need the one that was a little thicker. So I have a 3 folder and then the 1. Sorry guys, I did not read. So we'll crank it through. This is, sorry if you're getting jiggling around there. Beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I really like that pattern. It's just a lot to it. Flowers and butterflies and like a greenery piece. Yeah, so that's kind of what that looks like. Just trying to get it in the good light so it's not so glaring. Okay, it kind of gives you the idea. I'm going to adhere that onto that. Don't need a lot. I'm probably using way more than I need to. And it is very strong, but yet when you first put it down, you can kind of wiggle it around and move it, which is what a lot of people like about it, is you can kind of, you have a little window of wiggle room. Okay. All right, so that is the background for the inside piece here, like so. Could even go sideways, but what I'm going to do is adhere that. I was going to maybe do a dimensionals, but since there are so many dimensionals already on it, you probably don't need that. And let's take a look. Get it into place. Wiggle it around a little if need be. Okay, so there we are with that. And you can kind of see how it showcases that center there. And I do want to kind of make it pop a little more by putting a detail on that one. And then I'll put some ribbon and bling on it and some sentiments. So that we'll just finish that one in a second. And for this one, I want to get my center butterfly figured out, what I'm going to use. Oh, I just love blue. You guys too? Anybody else? Like, I just use so much blue. I really like it. But that's the fun. You kind of find out what you like, and you can make what you want, and do it your way, right? So I am going to do a little bit of layering. I'm going to just, I'm going to throw my glue on the floor. All right, I'm going to put this butterfly just down flat right in the center there. And you can see that matches that background really nice. But I also want to add a little dimension by having these wings bent a little bit. And I'm going to put a little bit of a dimensional on the back as well. So what I like to do is I'm going to grab my bone folder for this, and I kind of just curl that a little bit, curl that a little bit. They're curled down, but then I kind of bend it a little bit here, a little bit here. I'm not trying to like make it too high up, but that really adds a lot. And even if it gets kind of smushed down, you still have that little bit of a pop there, which is super nice. I think if, well, actually, you don't have to use dimensionals that are the small. If you have them, great. If not, just go ahead and use your edge piece here, or some little chunk of, you know, some dimensional. If you had the strips, you could use that as well, because we do often have like strips of, like foam strips, I think is kind of what they are, and they're super handy for this type of a use. And so I'm going to put this just right over top. It's the same image with a little different color, and I'm going to get my big old head in the way probably, but I really want to make sure it's right over it. Press that down and then kind of give that a little bend again. Okay. Ooh, pretty. I love it. Okay. And this one, we'll get some more help here in a minute. So I like to, I think I'll use maybe even white. Yeah, I can get a sheet of white out. Let's make some centers. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I should probably have had done ahead of time. So I am going to do, you know, you can get 5 out of a sheet if you cut them to, I'm going to look at my cheat sheet, 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3.5. I bet I have to go, so 3.5 by 4 3/4. So here's 4 3/4. And I want 2 of them that are 3.5. I should probably be cutting off here so you can see better. So there's 3.5. Now the lighter blade, as most of you know, is the scoring blade, so I didn't need that right now. 3.5. And this will be for the inside. I just like to have a little bit of a lighter layer in there so you can write your sentiment and stamp your sentiment in there also. So that'll be on the inside, and these are I'm gonna make some sentiment strips here. I might cheat. I had last time that a couple times ago, which set is it? There's a set that has all these sentiments, and then they have just this little die that cuts out a little banner type thing like this. So I really love using those, and I made up a whole bunch ahead of time. Let's see what else I have. Sorry. Let's see what else. I'm thinking of you, best wishes. And I just love to have these available, so for whatever I'm using them for, I can just grab them and use it in my project. So I am going to do that. I really need to show you guys, though, don't I? Which set that was from. Because that's not really nice if I just say, oh yeah, you know, use that one set. So I'm going to quick find it for you. It's just some sentiment strips that go with one of our stamp sets, and I wanted to be able to tell you so you're not wondering. I should know all these by now, right? I wonder if it was, I should look at the dies, but they don't show, I don't think, all the dies, so this is really good. How about if I put it in the notes? Should I do that, you guys? Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure which stamp set that came from. Sorry, I will find it and put it in there because I don't, oh yay, it was from Art Gallery. So Art Gallery has all of these sentiments, and it has a couple of different sizes of the little cutouts. Okay, so that's where I'm using that from. Phew, okay. So let's grab this one. Probably matches best with, you know, and you would just do whatever you're needing. I'm going to put Thinking of You on this one. I'm going to put it on dimensionals as well. Just kind of like those popped up things that you can put on there. All right. Okay. I'll just kind of trim those down a little bit. I don't really want it showing. If you have the minis, they would work great. If you don't, then you'll do this kind of a technique where you're just cutting off what you need and making it the size you want. Okay, that's one sentiment. So there's one card's front. Of course, we'll do some kind of we need a little more on there, but this is kind of starting it. I'm going to overlap that a little bit. Okay. I'm thinking of you. Having it straight will be nice. Kind of stickler on that. I used to work in pre-press at a printing company years ago, and you had to have everything just perfectly lined up. So it really taught me like measurements of being able to eye a quarter of an inch or an eighth of an inch, and if something's straight or not. And boy, it stuck with me, and it was really helpful for this kind of a situation. Card, there's one card. The other one, what kind of a sentiment do we want to use? What do I need coming up here? Probably I'm going to need some, maybe a thank you. That'd be nice, because I like that color, that purpley ink as well with this. And you can see that that can go about anywhere. Whatever jumps out at you, I don't know. I wonder if I would ever want to do that. Probably not. And, you know, it kind of goes along with this little scallop edge, too. It's a little different than that, but kind of makes it nice. Kind of coordinates it a little bit. I'm just going to glue this one on the corner over here. Oops. Okay, I'm going to go that like so. Okay, oh my goodness, schmearlap. Got a little crazy there. All right, so we have thank you on this one. Just kind of blends in, but oh, I think that's really pretty, those colors. Hopefully you like it. And then let's do our inside sentiment. So we have an I'm thinking of you and a thank you. It's up to you if you want to, you know, even put a message on there. Sometimes we like to just leave them blank so that we can put whatever we want in there later or whatever. But I'm going to grab some sentiments that might go along with that. So I'm thinking of you and thank you. So let's do happy thoughts would be nice. I love the happy thoughts. I like that they have the outside sentiment and an inside, little more of a paragraph. So with the I'm thinking of you, I am going to put just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. That goes perfectly, right? Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. Okay. There it is. Yay. So let's get that stamped, and I'm just gonna maybe be brave and do it right on there. I rarely ever do that anymore because of my Stamparatus. I always use it, but I'm gonna wing it and be brave here, and you know, just try to get this done. So we are gonna use that same blue that I used before. I love that Misty Moonlight color. So that is the one I was thinking about trying with it, but I may not. I may have to, oh, here it is. Oh, thanks, Cindy. I love this set. There's just so much potential for it, and so many, I have just seen the most lovely things. So I am just beginning. I'm sure this is one of those stamp sets I'm going to use a lot through the years or whatever, because this is going to be around with our new annual catalog, which, gosh, what do you think? I'm going to make this straight. Our new annual catalog will have this in it. So that is going to be around for a long time. Yay. Okay, and then the next sentiment I'm going to use is going to be, so that was I'm thinking of you. So the one that has thank you, I am going to put the little things you do so well and so often make a big difference to so many people. How that is just such a cool little saying there, because it says it all, doesn't it? And it goes so well with the thank you. All right, let's try to see if we can go 2 for 2 here and not have a big mess. But one good thing about paper and stamping is you have a whole nother palette on the other side. So if you happen to not like what you did, then you can always try it again on the back side, or you can cover it up or do a different one. That's why you don't want to adhere this onto your card until after you've stamped. That's what I try to do. I don't always listen to my own advice, but that's the thought of it anyways. oh, here, I did, this is the embossing folder set that I used. It's called Meadow Moments embossing folders. So that is what that's from. And it has one that's kind of some leaves just on one edge. And this one, the one that I used, had that whole background image. So that's the smaller one. You can use it on the regular size of embossing machine as well. You can use it on this, either one. Okay. All right. So now we'll be able to adhere these onto the inside. All right. So I'm thinking of you. This is the Happy Thoughts one. And we'll adhere that to the inside. So a little bit of glue here. Okay. And right in the center, and I'll be adding probably some butterflies here and there as well. Okay. Sometimes it's nice to just take a piece of paper, just a little scrap that you have around, and put it over that and then rub all over really well so that you can get that adhered. You can just kind of go like so, but without smearing your sentiment, of course. All right. Okay, I'm going to have to get that off. Let's finish up here. I know I'm going to want to, I don't know, I could do one. I put one here. So I'll just might as well use them up, huh? I'm going to put a bigger one up on the top on the inside. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Nice smearlap of glue. Well, I guess for this, I'm going to have to sponge some Winkostella or something on it, huh? Oh, one of those days. Oh, goodness. I had the inside looking so good, too. Oh, well. All thumbs. Yeah, so I will probably go back and change that out because it got a big smearlap of glue because as you saw, I dropped that other butterfly right on it. So it's going to have a nice, lovely smearlap on it. But for time's sake, that's so sad. Yeah, I'll just keep going for now. And I'm not going to do it on this one. Okay. Now I just need to leave it alone so I don't mess it up. I am going to work on getting a little more dress up on there. Just anything that kind of color coordinates. That's what's nice, is just to have a bunch of these ready to go, and then you can have different colors or just try things as you're experimenting and making your project up. Of course, we would want to decorate our envelopes too. So you could stamp the image. You could kind of have a closure on the back of your envelope and glue on one of these guys to kind of have that as a closure on your envelope. So that would be nice. You could stamp on there. You could have some of the pattern paper on the back flap. And that's just kind of subtle here. Okay. You can't really see it that well, but I kind of like that. Okay, so these are my floating frame cards. Almost finished. Need a little bling, need a little ribbon. I am going to use something, let's see. In the blue family would be good. I could use the navy, or I have the exact one that I'd like. And that is one of our in colors. So this will be really pretty. This is the blue that's new this year, the Moonlight Mist. That will work really well. I am just going to do a quick bow, or you could do a knot. It would have been nice to maybe go have that running behind that too, or behind this would have been really nice. But I am just going to do it this way for now. put it on with a glue dot as usual. And I'll trim her up once I get that on there. Okay, and gotta have my special ribbon scissors. Hopefully, I was noticing I might have to invest in and get a new pair and put these to be just regular ones. They were, the other day I thought it seemed like they weren't quite as sharp anymore. That's not the best trim. I can go back and do that on the card. All right, where? I'm going to put it in the corner. I'm going to pull that a little tight first. Tighter. Okay. And I will do, I don't even know where I'll put it on this one. It's kind of a busier card, but not too busy for a little ribbon, right? Okay, make a little knot here, nothing fancy. Okay. Let's get a little glue dot again. Put it, whoops. Oh, I didn't get the glue dot. I'm going too fast. Okay. We'll try that again. Make that thank you kind of show a little bit more. Okay, I'd maybe turn that a bit. Kind of want to go that way with it too. Can you see I need new ones? I've probably been using them where I shouldn't, because typically these are just like really nice and sharp and they just zip right through it, but they're kind of getting a little duller. Time to get a new pair. And I wonder, I think I maybe even did get a new pair the other day. I ordered one. Okay, there we are. And last but not least, bling. I am just going to use these, not the Wonderful Gems, these Opal Rounds. They're very they're just like a subtle glittery. Okay, they don't like coming out of the package. Okay. Gosh. How annoying is that? Sorry guys, crinkle crinkle right in your ear. Let's go. I always put 3 or 5, but usually 3. That's what I do. And one fell off. I'm going to put one. I don't know why. I always like to have one in the head. There wasn't the adhesive. I didn't get the adhesive. Try that again. One for the head. All right. And too small. All right, we are going to go in this corner. I just, you know, put them willy-nilly, wherever. And then one on this little flower, okay? That's how they look. You see that? I'm thinking of you. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And then my lovely Schmierlauf, which I'm going to cover and redo. And then we got that. There's our first card from the inside of our floating frame. And then we have the other one here that is the outside of the floating frame. Almost done. Put one there. And again, it's just, there's no right or wrong, just wherever you feel like doing it. Now I'm going to put one. I don't know. Guess I don't know where I feel like doing it, huh? Okay. And the other card. So, thank you. The little things you do so well and so often make a big difference to so many people. Oh, I love that card. I hope you did too. Hopefully you found some ideas here. I didn't even get to the detail part yet. So I'm going to do that another day. I'm going to do a part 2, and I'll do that next week, okay? Next week I'll come with some more ideas because I hardly scratched the surface, but that's enough for one day, right? So we will continue with our butterfly bouquet next week, all right? Whew, okay. How are you? Did you make it through? You're hanging in there? This is too long, over an hour and a half. So don't you have a sand eraser to remove the boo-boo? I do, Joanne. I'm going to dig that out because I use it all the time. And if anybody doesn't know, that's what this is. Oh, I'm facing this camera now. Here's the sand eraser. Super nice for getting little bits of ink. And it can also get off adhesive sometimes. So I'm going to get to using that and work on it a little bit more. So I appreciate you guys stopping by tonight and hanging in there all this time. Oh my goodness. Have a great rest of your week and your weekend, and take care. Keep in touch. Keep stamping. Have fun. Bye-bye.